Hello YouTube and welcome back to Castle of Random. It's your boy Random and welcome back to another ranting video. Now I know it's been a while since we did one of these, but I did feel the need to explain a little bit about the thought process behind this, and I felt it's a necessary topic to speak given that the current market of how YouTube acts specifically. So I kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit. You can judge from the title, as you know, from the title you basically know what the video is about, but let me explain as to my reasonings as to why it shouldn't matter or it should matter. It's not more of a black and white yes or no, it's more of a bit of a gray area where certain things are better for quality and some are not. Just to say it anyway, the question that we're going to be tackling today is YouTube production necessary to have in order to be a successful YouTube channel? I know now in the current era in YouTube where everything is overproduced, over-edited, overdone to an extent where you feel like it's more of watching a company rather than a person, I'm starting to wonder whether regular people such as myself, or maybe smaller channels that don't really have the capacity to do that, will be able to combat or even get a fraction of what the other bigger, maybe higher production YouTubers or other content creators are getting. Now don't get me wrong, again, I would say according to the topics or the content that you have overall, it does make sense in some cases. The best example of this, because I thought about education, it's kurz gesagt. Like, that channel has every need to be edited and highly produced because it's animated educational content, and it does work in a way where I've watched it for such a long time. I haven't been like full on every single video, but I always enjoy a video of kurz gesagt whenever I see that. So in that cases, I would really argue that yeah, production does matter, but because the better it is, the more you can work with it, you can do that, you know, yada 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 and all that stuff. But in other cases where you have, for example, let's say a channel such as myself, or again, given off the back from the previous video, I'll take Moist again, which I think is a good example. Again, Moist Critical, or Asmongold for that matter. Again, he's more of a Twitch streamer, but I think he falls under the category as well because, for example, Moist Critical or Charlie doesn't really have that much high production or high editing to his videos, or not any editing at all. But he does have a decent quality mic, of course, a decent quality camera, and a team behind him that, you know, kind of just helps him do stuff. The one benefit that Charlie has that a channel such as myself wouldn't have is money. So why production and qualities shouldn't be a primarily focus for you to follow a YouTube channel, especially in the gaming section, is pretty simple. I'll never be able to fight or combat the types of those because he has like all the newest rigs, he has the money to drop to the newest game that's released, and more often than not they're getting early access or free keys to them so they can just play them and showcase them to their audience, which fair play, of course. The companies are getting publicity and they're getting that shit for free, and he can always have access to it first and forehand. I mean, other consoles, exclusives, all that stuff, like he has that. So whenever something is trendy, he can just jump on that, check it out if he wants or not, and then roll with the boat. And of course there are other YouTubers that don't do that, but in that sense, you know, I basically do this shit on a laptop, so I'm limited to the extent of what I can do and what I can't do. So for example, I can't record to the highest quality that I would like, because if I were to record my camera to that highest quality and also record the video that I'm trying to edit afterwards to the highest quality, then my laptop would die, or just the video would be completely impossible to edit because it will be corrupted. So you have to balance that out, and of course the byproduct of that is you have a shittier quality video with shittier quality imagery, unfortunately. And sometimes you have to do a little bit of a workarounds, magics to be able to do that. Also, another thing that's a huge factor why I don't think production shouldn't matter if you're watching a YouTube channel is the consistency, because if you could tell me that I can sit for like 1 hour a day, or let's say 3 or 4 times a week for a few hours, for 2 or 3 hours to record some videos, send it out to a guy for him to edit, and then I just get them back, hit publish, and all hunky-dory, yeah, I would like that as well. But again, it comes back to the problem of having money. Now, you don't have money, you have to edit it for yourself. And if you're somebody like me that is kind of very new to editing overall, I mean, I literally started learning editing due to this, and I do enjoy the process of learning few new stuffs here and there, but also sometimes, you know, for example, in some series I don't really feel the need to edit that much because it doesn't make sense just for the sake of it to be edited. And I do know that in today's modern age, the attention span is low. You have to be always bombarded with something to make you feel like you're watching something entertaining. God forbid you're watching just a guy with a mask rambling to a camera in a microphone for more than 30 seconds. It's already done and over, and probably by this point most of you never even watched this video, but if you did, well, congratulations, man. You have a great attention span apparently. When it boils down, it's honestly, it's difficult to say whether it's yes or no. Again, depending on the topic, yes, but should be the main factor, no. And the problem with that is, the more high production people are being pushed, the algorithm rewards more and more people in that regard, and it kind of creates a cycle of everybody has to be the new best, has to have the best camera, the best this, the best that. Whereas, and of course, some people are also privileged to be able to basically portion out a huge chunk of their time of the day to do this, whereas other people basically do this as if it happens to gain traction, then it would be great, and then we can do that full time. It is what it is, man. It is difficult, but I think it shouldn't be a driving factor. Again, if you have to boil it down to what I would think it would be the best to do, is just follow the person regardless of what's trendy or not. If you enjoy watching that specific person, then you shouldn't really be having a problem with, oh, the production is very bad, or oh, he's not playing the newest game or not. Whereas I think a YouTuber especially should have a kind of a symbiotic relationship with his audience, whereas if you know that I'm not able to play some newest game, some new yada yada or this or that, and you're actually watching the person for himself instead of the way that he plays the newest games, I think that's like a pivotal point where you kind of get the answer of, does the audience see you because you can always bring the new stuff, or just because you are being yourself and you are interesting regardless of what you're actually playing. Some topics of course are more trendy and would provide you with the chance to be shown to broader audience, compared to if I play something, I don't know, like some very old game, then probably not a lot of people would even know that I exist. So you're kind of trying to balance it out. So that's where the audience comes in with, you know, I think with suggestions or maybe ideas that can help the creator grow as well. And of course, the faster the creator grows, then the more he'll be able to gain traction, more audience, which I think aforementionedly, then he'll be able to get an actual better production and better quality and faster, more trendy, I guess, videos. He'll be able to more keep up with the ever-growing competition that is the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube creators overall. And then you have Twitch streamers that upload also content on YouTube and yada yada yada. It's a whole vicious cycle, and you know it. But yeah, I think that kind of concludes my rant, if I to say so bluntly. Bottom line is, support the creator regardless of the production. If you have something to share, do share it with them, because otherwise they are just talking to an empty void. So make sure that's not the case, and let me know what are your thoughts. Actually, again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to learn more what your thoughts is from the audience, and if anyone just happens to watch this and stumbles on it, then what are your thoughts as well? No matter how isolated it is to talk to a camera, it's still, at the end of the day, you're still trying to talk to somebody in some way, shape or form. So I think it does help. Also, if you enjoyed this video and if you want to check out my other content, make sure to do so if you want. Or if you have any ideas, or you think or you enjoy this type of rants and you want me to rant about something else every once in a while, then let me know in the comments below as well, because there's a lot of topics that we can cover, even life related stuff. I'm fine with it. I do enjoy that. So yeah, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, till next time, I guess.